Your host Dani, here to guide the way with a big smile. She brightens up your day, fills up your day. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. The city's so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Your host Dani, here to guide the way with a big smile. She brightens up your day, fills up your day. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. City's so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Your host Dani, here to guide the way with a big smile. She brightens up your day, fills up your day. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. A city so lively.
Good morning, Frederick. It is Friday, July 26th, and I am your host, Dani Gurry. I'm trying to get the video started here on, oh, Lord have mercy, let's see, on Everything Frederick and More. And once again, I have, that's all on me. I'm telling you, sometimes it is difficult to remember. I need a list. To do everything I need to do, but let's just see if I can get this going. And anyway, I'm going to do my best. Hopefully we are live now on Everything Frederick and More. Might be a little bit delayed, but actually if that worked, I'm going to be pretty impressed with myself. Oh, it looks like maybe we are. Are we live? Oh, goodness. I'm telling you, it is one of those days. Happy Friday. All right. 100 show survey. I would love to get your feedback on how things have gone so far. Of course, we're not at 100 yet. This is 83, I think, something like that. But for the 100th show, we're going to have a special. It's going to be an awesome show, actually. I think, well, maybe I can announce now. I got some special guests. We got some fun stuff. And then we're going to take a look back on the last 100 shows for the rest of that week. And so we'll be looking at what changes should be made to the show, how we can improve and bring you better information. We need you to subscribe to YouTube, though. Just 10 subscribers away from 600. Somehow we were only 6 away yesterday. I have no idea how that works. But anyway, we're 10 away today from the 600 I'd like to get to by Sunday. And we are working toward that 1,000 by September. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I'd love for you to tell a friend about Good Morning Frederick. Go to your text list right now and just text a friend and say, hey, tune in to Good Morning Frederick. It's on right now. We're on in 8 places. We're on 6 Facebook pages, YouTube, and LinkedIn. YouTube is probably the easiest place you can tell somebody to find us. You can send a link right to the page or just say, hey, search Good Morning Frederick on YouTube and you'll find it. I'd love for you to bring some friends along on this fun journey. All right, on today's show, Amanda Haddaway is a fellow Key City Rotarian and owner of HR Answerbox. And she talks about how she kind of fell into the HR game, and it sure seems to be paying off. And Zach and Courtney Davis from Groundswell MMA join me to talk about their journey to get where they are and their story. I just absolutely love those two. I love the story. I love how they got where they are, and I think you guys will love them too. Bob Miller and Chris Michaels join me from WFMD's Morning News Express for local news, weather, and sports. Plus, as always, I've got all your events for this weekend, next week, and also ones you're going to want to mark your calendar for that are coming up in the next couple of weeks. So let's get this Friday going. Oh boy, happy Friday. Big thanks to We Help You Move, whether you're moving across the street or across the country. Nicholas and his team of moving experts can make that whole process much easier and less stressful. We Help You Move is veteran-owned and a great supporter of the Frederick community. WeHelpYouMove.com. And, if you need help, Nick is so great about offering information and advice. He'll even search out to make sure if you're using a mover, maybe you've got a kid that's now moving to college and it's away, it's not around Maryland, and you just want to say, hey, I want to make sure this mover is legit. Nicholas will help you. Trust me, he's the best guy ever. If you ever need anything, you can give We Help You Move a call. And let's see, I think I heard somebody click in. Well, Bob Miller's right on time as per usual. Let's find out what's happening with news, weather, and sports. We might just get sports this morning. I have Bob Miller and maybe Chris Michaels from the WFMD Morning News Express with all your local. Here, let's see what happens. Well, I got one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you caught me. You remember Chris said he was off today.
Oh, right. I forgot all about that. See, there we go.
How do I turn that around?
We are just with you this morning. I forget. Okay. These people who take days off. I don't know.
I know, right?
Vacations.
I haven't had a vacation, a real vacation, 10 days in a row in probably 3 years. And
wow.
Of course, we moved and we had some other things that we did, but you took days off for that, and we did go to we went to the beach for a long weekend, but really haven't had. I guess the last vacation I really had from work, and I actually did work when I had COVID, but that's not really a vacation, trust me.
No, I've avoided that. Knock wood. My whole family, no one in this house.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
I am taking one though. It's at the end of August. We're in 10 days. We're going to take 10 days off. I think it's 10 days, maybe more than that.
Very nice.
Going to hit the beach with we're going to the mountains, and then Linda and I are going to the beach with some friends of hers from high school and their husbands. So
fun.
Yeah, that ought to be fun. Nothing like a bunch of Thurmont people and leaving me out because I'm from Walkersville area. You know how that'll be.
Oh, come on now. You'd be accepted into that group, no problem.
Oh, yeah, no, I love them all. all. We have a really good time. But it's funny that I don't know about you, but there are certain people. My wife has these girlfriends, and they fluctuate. There's, some of them go in and some of them come out, but they're always a group of them, and they get together at least twice a year. And it's like, Linda's like, we've never left high school.
Yeah. Yeah, I have that too. Actually, I moved away from Frederick, in 2000 when I got married. Well, I moved away earlier. I went to Baltimore, went to San Diego, then went to Australia. And since I've been back in 2007, I have some girlfriends here that we get together quite frequently, and it is kind of funny. You do kind of revert back into that a little bit.
Yeah. I was in town and we were talking, and I met with a bunch of guys who played on the football team, and and we were all first-year football players, and we're just sitting around, and it's like you return back to being a juvenile. You know, you're like talking about things that you're not supposed to talk about, and that kind of stuff.
Well, what I love is how how you remember things back then just, kind of morphs and changes and grows. I love that part.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes. So let's talk about what happened in the news. Of course, obviously, we're going to kind of do a news sports thing.
All right.
Okay?
I love it.
And that is, I don't know if you did, but I watched the 10-12 Brunswick Little League softball team yesterday on ESPN. It did not end the way they wanted it to.
Yeah.
They lost 10-0 to the Massapequa team from New York, which is the defending world champion.
Yeah.
It was a 10-run rule, and I was talking. A friend of mine from high school whose granddaughter plays on the team said, "Oh, you should have seen them earlier. They were great." And I'm like, it happens. I mean, they ran into a buzzsaw of the team from Massapequa, but it doesn't take away from their strong effort and the great season that they had. And I hope they hold their heads up high. I'm sure their coach told them to do so. Yeah.
It's disappointing. It's funny. I have an interview with Zach Davis and Courtney Davis from Groundswell MMA coming up on the show today. And we talk about how it's so important for people, but certainly kids, to experience failure and allow and really, again, to understand that it's not really failing, but you have to kind of look at things, not let it define you. And it's a tough lesson for kids to learn, but certainly I hope it just motivates them to come back even better.
Well, just think and put this in perspective. You're a Major League Baseball player. If you get 3 hits out of every 10 at-bats, guess what? You're in the Hall of Fame.
You're amazing. I know.
7 times you didn't get on base. 7 times you didn't get on base. But 3 times out of 10, you become a Hall of Famer of your career. So
I know. When you look at it like that, it's really quite stunning, to be honest. So, yeah. And
to watch these young ladies, that were playing in the game, just having a good time, enjoying it, and taking it all in. I'm very proud of them. I don't know anybody. I have friends who have daughters on their granddaughters and stuff on the team, but I don't know any of them personally. Yeah. But it was fun. And on not on ESPN Plus or A Plus or whatever. They were on ESPN yesterday. It was great to see.
Yes, and they do Frederick County proud, and they were the only one in the region. I mean, so that's right. A huge thing as well. And there are very few teams that make it up there, and good for them. What a great experience.
And hopefully they'll have a couple players coming back. The other team, it was interesting. They had 2 girls that were friends since they were, the ripe old age of 7 or something. And I'm like, they're 10 now.
Lifelong.
Yeah, lifelong friends. So congratulations going to them. Now, on to other news. We talked about this a couple of times. There's now some opposition to the proposed Maryland Piedmont
reliability.
Thank you. Project. That's the 70-mile-long transmission line, which is expected to run through northern Baltimore County, Carroll County, and southern Frederick County. I think people who have got to experience some of this and started to look at her like, hey, they have big questions on this. The developer of the project, the Public Service Enterprise Group, says it was awarded the contract by PJM, which manages the electric grid in this region, to build the line. It says the line will be meeting the growing needs of the electricity need in the region. Now, Councilman Steve McKay, who was on this program, said the line will have adverse effects on Frederick County. And he said it's going to actually impact Frederick County significantly. It's going to Carroll County. They say the same thing, and all the way to Baltimore County. It's going to go through people's property. It's going to take people's property from them, and it's going to devalue their property. So this is still up for debate, and I think that this gives people an opportunity to hear their voices, have their voices be made heard. So.
Yeah, I think you were telling me there's an event coming up, right? There's a hearing or a public comment thing available.
Yes.
I think
Hang
coming
on a
up
second.
next week.
I clicked all the way to the next story already, so I was
That's
like,
okay. No. I'll
the
make sure
31st.
Yeah,
31st at Linganore High School, 6 p.m. if you want to be part of that. Hey, don't go up into the Catoctin Mountains. You know why? Because parts of Catoctin Mountain are going to be closed this weekend. I wonder why they're going to be closed. Who knows? Could it be that the Camp David presidential retreat is going to have a few visitors? Who knows?
I bet it is.
Yes. So if you're planning on heading that area, I would suggest to stay away from that area. And trust me, if you drive by that area, it will be closed. But, I mean, anytime you drive by Camp David and you go and you stop, guess what? They'll find you real quick.
Very, very quickly and ask you to move along. Nothing to see here.
Move along. Yes. I remember real quick, and back on the dreadful day of 9/11, I went up to the Site R. Now, I don't know if you know what Site R is, but you've lived here long enough. You ought to know what Site R is, right?
Yeah.
It's the place that nobody's supposed to know about, but everybody knows about. And I was going to do a live national broadcast from Site R, right? Mm-hmm. And next thing I know, there's Marines with machine guns pointing at me, saying, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I am getting ready to do a live broadcast, national TV or national radio on ABC." And the guy goes to me, goes, "No, you're not." And I'm like, "Dude, come on. I'm from Frederick and I'm going to be on national radio." I said, "Trust me, as soon as I'm done, I'm going to leave." And he goes, "Yeah, we're going to make sure that you do. When's this going to happen?" And I'm like, 30 seconds. And as soon as I was done, man, I was out of there. So, yeah.
Well, it was nice of them to let you stay, actually.
Right? Yeah, because I think at that time, the vice president was heading to Site R at that time. So
Gotcha.
if people don't know what Site R is, Google it. I'm not going to be the person to spill things.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to be on some other list.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably on that list anyway. Oh, did you hear this? This is kind of national news, but not a big story. But Southwest Airlines, they are now going away from their 50-year tradition of the cattle call, and they're going to start assigning seats.
What?
I know. I mean,
wow.
I don't know how I feel about that because it's always a rush when you're sitting there like 24 hours and, in a minute.
Counting down.
Right? And you're sitting here going, okay, refresh. And you're just beating like, ding, 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 ding. I got an A boarding pass. I've got an A boarding pass.
That's really interesting because I figured that the upgrade part was a huge revenue stream for them, for people just to upgrade to the A's.
I think so too. I mean, I do it all the time. I mean,
me too.
Well, I should say sometimes when I fly with my mother-in-law, and she is, she's in a wheel. She's not in a wheelchair, but she needs a wheelchair to go to the airport.
I thought you were going to say you allowed your mother-in-law a different seat and then you upgraded.
Oh, no. I push her through. We always get there early. And she's in a wheelchair. She needs one. She's not one of those fake people who don't need one, who just want to board early.
Right.
And so we usually board early with her, but if I fly in alone, I take my chances. Guess what? Whether you're on an A or a C, you're going to get there at the same time.
That's right. You all arrive at the same time. That is for sure.
Yeah. Sunshine maybe kind of creeping up today. Hopefully we'll get some sunshine. Right now we've got cloudy skies. Daytime temperatures could hit in the mid-80s today. We're looking at maybe a high of 85. Sunshine today. Saturday, more sunshine with a high of 88. Temperatures in the 90s on Sunday. As you head back to work, maybe a few clouds on Monday, high of 89. Not a whole lot of chance of rain in the near future for us.
Oh,
Sports?
Well, there you go. I know it does. It's nice, kind of gray out. Doesn't look like the sun's out yet, but
no, not yet.
Haven't gotten, I don't think, any rain. So there you go.
No, Dylan Cease was the second pitcher for the San Diego Padres to throw a no-hitter in their history. He just happened to throw it against the Washington Nationals last night, and a 3-0 victory over the Nationals. He only needed 9 pitches in the 8th inning, 11 in the 9th inning for that victory, and it's, like I said, the second one. So the Padres are coming to town to take on the Orioles in a weekend series. The Orioles' Ryan Mountcastle hit a go-ahead single in the 10th inning. The Orioles rebounded from a 6-run lead wasted. They ended up beating probably one of the worst teams in baseball, 7-6, the Miami Marlins Thursday, and they didn't get swept. That would have been terrible if they would have gotten swept by the Marlins. But Anthony Santander hit his 28th home run. Colton Cowser went yard. So did Connor Norby. Also went deep. Grayson Rodriguez on the mound for the Orioles. They open up that 3-game series against the Padres tonight. And that's a look at sports.
All right. Well, Bob, we appreciate you carrying this one alone, and we hope you have a fantastic weekend. And
yes, you too. Got big plans?
Guys. What's that?
I said, do you have big plans?
Well, tonight I'm attending Souls of Love. I have to say, I actually had forgotten about the 25 pairs of shoes that I did early on with some sponsorship dollars. So I actually topped 250. I think I'm at 254 pairs of shoes. So, yeah, I'm very, very proud. Couldn't have done it without all you guys.
Awesome.
So,
yeah.
It was awesome.
And, Julie, you know what? Give her a big send-off on her last Souls of Love. I'm sure she's not the chairman, but I'm sure she's going to be, she still has left a mighty big footprint.
Oh, yes. Yes, she will still have, I'm sure, something to do with it. She just won't be organizing the whole thing. But, yeah, so that is tonight. And then this weekend, I'm just going to be, I've got some interviews, actually, to do on Sunday. We're talking to a dog rescue, Double Dare Dog Rescue, and Wayne Harris from Newmarket Volunteer Fire Department. So I'll be doing that on Sunday, but...
Lots of good stuff. All right.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, good morning, Frederick.
Fantastic
Frederick.
weekend.
You too. Have a great day. Bye, Dani.
Oh, goodness. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there on the, figuring out pauses and stuff like that. All right. I want to thank Bob for joining me today. Here are your giveaways, the weekly ones. Winners will be selected this afternoon or this evening. You can enter 24 hours a day. Text 888-465-2944. We've got those 5 Maryland lottery scratch-offs. We got the Tree Trekkers 3-hour adventure ticket. And we've got the 4 tickets to any regular season Keys game. If you have not been yet, just text me and I'd be happy to send you to a game, you and your family. Maybe you got some people coming in. And that's always fun to take people to a Keys game. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Then it's all the events in Frederick from the best calendar in the region, I think. Amanda Haddaway from HR Answerbox and Zach and Courtney from Groundswell MMA, all coming up right after this.
Elevate your next party with Dreamscape Slumber Events. Over 12 themes and customization available for kids, teens, and adults to enjoy. Don't have the space? We have solutions for that too. Search Dreamscape Slumber Events on Facebook.
The Crab Shop is open. Join Habitat for Humanity of Frederick County, Maryland for the 9th annual Blue Crabs and Blueprints celebration on Saturday, August 24th at the Walkersville Carnival Grounds. This family-friendly day includes crabs from JB Seafood, food trucks, live music, and yard games. This fun-filled day supports Habitat's home repair and home build programs, making a difference year-round right here in Frederick County. Crabs must be pre-ordered by August 19th, so don't delay. Get your crabs now for this Maryland-style crab feed.
Dream Free Art, Frederick's first and only splatter room. New location, new beginner-friendly artful shenanigans for all ages. Come fling paint and make a masterpiece in Dream Free Art's splatter room, or join us for a fun and unique art experience. Book your next birthday party, corporate event, date night, or family outing at dreamfreeart.com to unleash your inner artist today. Dream Free Art. Free your creativity.
All right, and let's talk about what is happening in Frederick. Happening in Frederick is sponsored by Atlas Wood Floors. Serving the area for more than 34 years, Atlas Wood Floors can handle wood floors, luxury vinyl, plank, pretty much anything that you want to put on your floor, they can handle. Call Atlas Wood Floors today, 301-948-9663, or go to atlaswoodfloors.net. When you call or when you fill out the Contact Us form, ask for Jeff, okay? Do me a favor. All right, if you want to know what's happening in Frederick, you got to check out the best calendar that's out there, and that is, I got to pull it up. I didn't even pull up the best calendar in the world. That is our Everything Frederick calendar. You can find that right at promocircus.com. Am I getting it up here? Here we go. All right. Boy, I can tell it's a Friday. All right, here we go. Calendar of events coming up to the end of July. I cannot believe it, actually. We only have, my gosh, July ends next Wednesday. That is nuts. All right, clicking on the agenda tab so that you can actually see what is going on. And let's see, what do we have? Oh, if you'd like today, you can drop off your new school supplies for Stuff the Bus. They are coming around on Tuesday to pick up the new school supplies for Stuff the Bus. We have a couple of boxes at the home of Everything Frederick, and the shop opens just about 11 a.m. this morning. You can also head over to the Frederick Airport today. You can get your Cote Kids shaved ice and watch the planes take off anytime this afternoon, 11 to 4. You can check out Music in the Village, Warman's Mill, this evening, 5 to 8 p.m. That's a really fun time. They got those nice grounds there with the gazebo. You can have dinner maybe at Ricci or Plaza Mexico. You can check that out at Warman's Mill. The Frederick Keys are home this evening versus Mahoning Valley. I tell you, if you want to go see the Keys game tonight, if you want to take your family, just text me right now, 888-465-2944. Say you want to go tonight. I will leave the vouchers for you at the home of Everything Frederick. You can pick them up today after 11, and you can take the tickets right to the box office and exchange them for actual seats at the game. If you want to go tonight, we'd love to let you go tonight. So you text me, 888-465-2944, and I'd be happy to send you and your family to see the Frederick Keys for free. Let's see, what else? Oh, how about a ghost tour tonight? That's always fun. I have done one of these. It's been a few years now, but it is a walk through downtown Frederick with some great history. I don't know really how scary it is. It's more historical, but they do say that Frederick is pretty haunted, considering that we were a Civil War hospital area, I think, and of course, a stop along that way, and lots of history here in Frederick, so you never know. I guess if you want to see things hard enough, you can. Tomorrow morning, how about some yoga on tap at Frederick Social, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can head to Frederick Social. It's donation-based. I love that. So you can head down there and get your morning started down near Carroll Creek. Frederick Social is right at 50 Citizens Way, right on the creek. Let's see, you can, double-decked history tour tomorrow at 11 a.m. You can jump on that double-decker bus. It's going to be a great weekend for it. And there's nothing like seeing the view of Frederick from the double-decker. It is a really cool, fun ride, and they've got some great history facts for you about our lovely town that we love so much. Searsville is having an open house on Saturday. They are having, they're having, 3 to 5 on Saturday. You can see the venue, speak with the planners. So if you know somebody who maybe got engaged recently or is looking for a place to have a reception or a wedding or both, you can check out Searsville's open house at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Also tomorrow, I'm going to see, I think I put on here, the Dairy Princess. When is she going to be? Frederick County, 4 o'clock. The Frederick County Dairy Princess will be at Sweet Babe's Creamery with some activities for the kids. She has a program planned at 4 o'clock, Sweet Babes Creamery, located in Urbana, and you can check that out as well. Oh, I also want to say, if you were considering any training for Reiki, the Healing Storm does do some classes. Now, I don't know, I think you can actually purchase this. This says class 2, so I'm not sure if there was already a class 1, but if you're interested in some Reiki training, reach out to Shannon at the Healing Storm and find out if you can join this one or when the next one will be. She will tell you about all that. And then, of course, on Sunday, it is the AmVets, at the AmVets Farm. It's the Pulling for Veterans Flea Market from 9 to 3. There are 150 spaces available. You can wait until the morning and head up there and sign up. I think they start setting up at 7. It's $30 per space, and it's you can sell your yard sale stuff. If you're a crafter or an artisan, feel free. You can do that. If you're a local business and you just want to support Pulling for Veterans and promote your company, you can do that as well. That is Sunday. It is at the farm, which is located right next to the entrance to Tree Trekkers, which is on 144. That is the Sunday one. You have goat yoga at Crystal's Funny Farm Sunday at 10. You can, a full hour of, I love how they promote the yoga. I just want to see how many baby goats are going to be at the goat yoga, because Crystal had on social, she had like 5 moms who had babies, and they were so adorable. And then you got the summer concert series presented by Ryan Holmes, Celebrate Frederick. That is a great event at the Baker Park Band Shell. Take the kids out. It's going to be a good time. You got the Sagamore Band playing 7 to 8:30 p.m. You can get there early. Grab some food from downtown, maybe pretzel and pizza creations or something. Grab some food, get your blanket, sit out there, and enjoy the music. And then next week, you can see all these great events that are going on. The Mount Airy Fireman's Carnival starts next week on Monday. So if you're not carnivaled out yet, you can attend that one. And then here are some for, this will come up next Wednesday, July 31st, Frederick Social. You can meet the producers and actors from Boomtown, and Frederick Social is donating to Boomtown all month long, which is awesome. We appreciate the support there from Frederick Social for that movie about Frederick. And then August 1st is the Distillery Dash. So this is all next week. Then the following week, August 10th, there is the filming of Boomtown from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Asbury United Methodist Church on All Saints Street. They're looking for actors, singers, and extras from the African American community. And if you want to participate, reach out to Rhonda McLaughlin. I think it's Big Media TV, Big Picture TV. I'll look it up. But on the link information, you'll be able to see how you reach out to them to get your spot in that movie. August 14th, Downtown Frederick's Night Market is coming from 5 to 8. On August 17th, there are a couple of events. Of course, the Tree Trekkers Climbing for a Cause, and also the Newmarket Fire Company's Big Money Bash. We're going to be talking with them. I'm actually meeting with them on Sunday. I will stream their interview probably Monday or Tuesday about their big fundraiser that they do each year, which is all you can eat food and beverage, all you can drink beverages, and a ton of fun, and you can win a lot of money, which, hey, how about that? And then the 24th, there are a couple of events as well. You can attend the Common Market's 50th anniversary celebration. That actually goes, I think, from noon to 3. And then starting at 4 is the Blue Crabs and Blue Prints event. So you can attend both of those, and I actually may be doing that as well. So these are things you want to look out for next week and beyond that are happening in Frederick. To see the links and get the details for those, just go to promocircus.com. You can click on everything Frederick Live, and then the event calendar of events. And if you have an event you want included on the calendar, email it to everythingfredericklive@gmail.com. And if you have an event you would like for me to MC and you would like some help, just let me know. Email me and I will be happy to see what I can do for you. All right, let's talk about who is making our market. Oh, I didn't even put that up there. Hang on one sec while I get that up there, because we got to get our old, let's see, I'll pull this up here. I am really off my game today. I went out to dinner last night, and this is why. This is why things happen. All right. You know, can't stay out too late, still had stuff to edit, all that great stuff. But, you know, it is Friday, and it's going to be a great day. Come on, computer. Let's get this up there because we want to talk about, here we go. Let's talk about who's making the market. Yes, we don't want to miss that. Sponsored by Rita's of Frederick. 11 flavors of custard daily. Oh my gosh. And they have some amazing salted caramel, of course, your standards. But you can check their Facebook page and see which flavors they have each day. Plus, you can pick up the new braided pretzels. They're just $3.99. And while you're at it, grab some spicy mustard or nacho cheese with it. Open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. every single day. Rita's, 538 West South Street of Frederick. All right, Amanda Haddaway literally fell into the HR game, but it's definitely paying off. She recently had an acquisition of another HR provider, giving her over 200 HR consultants, and they're now global. I'm so honored to celebrate a fellow Key City Rotarian, and I would like for you to meet Miss Amanda Haddaway. Working from the Finger Lakes in New York, but she is always a part of Frederick. I'm so happy to have with me today Amanda Haddaway. Her company, HR Answerbox, can help if you are a company looking to get some HR guidance, right, Amanda?
Yes. Hi, Dani. Thanks for having me today. HR Answerbox is an HR consulting, training, and coaching company. And in January, we actually acquired another company. So now we have about 260 consultants that are working with us.
That is unbelievable. Congratulations on that. When you first started your company, what were you doing right before that?
Yeah, so I was an in-house HR director for a local company called Volkamer Equipment Corporation. That company has since been acquired and has a different name, but we had 5 locations throughout Maryland and Delaware.
Okay. And what was your interest in HR? Did you kind of always think that this is what you were going to do?
Nope, not at all. I actually got into HR accidentally. So when I was in college, I interned with a company in the IT space. They were a federal government contractor. And when I got into my senior year, they interviewed me and offered me a full-time position. My undergraduate degree was actually in communications and specifically public relations. And they offered me a job as an analyst, which in the government contracting space is just a fancy name for report writer. And so I started in that job, and my project manager came to me a couple weeks in and said, I have some bad news. Our project lost funding. So I automatically panicked, of course. I had an opportunity to find another job internal in the company. So the company at that point in time was about 1,200 employees. And during the 6 years that I was there, it grew through some mergers and acquisitions to be about a 5,000 person company. But I had an opportunity. Yeah, so a ton of growth. And I actually got to help out with some of the acquisitions, which was a really cool experience. But the opportunity that I got internally in my first HR job was in recruiting. So I supported recruiting for a contract, actually 2 contracts that we had at NIH and the FDA. So I worked out of Rockville.
Wow. And I think the PR and writing skills and communication are vital actually in recruitment.
Recruiting is more sales and marketing than it is HR. And that was a really great opportunity. I loved recruiting. And then from there, I had an opportunity to take over the company's college recruiting program, which was a lot of fun because I wasn't that far out of college myself. Then I moved into training, employee communications, and then ultimately left to take the promotion into the HR director role.
Well, that's great. I mean, obviously, then that role gave you kind of like the full scope to step into starting your own company. What year did you decide to go out on your own?
Yeah, so I made that decision in 2015, and then we officially launched HR Answerbox on January 19th of 2016.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. So you are a resource that you deal with people all around the country, right? So you are a virtual HR director for, I'm sure, hundreds of people.
Yes, don't tell anyone, but my Frederick clients are my favorites.
Of course, of course.
But we do have clients all across the country. And then with the acquisition of the other consulting company, we now have consultants that are all over the country. And we even have a few people who are based internationally.
What a great reach. And you know, HR is very complicated. It's kind of like being an accountant. There are things that change all the time, new regulations, new rules. And, you know, it's so vital for a company to have a resource like yours, you know, obviously not even to deal with employee issues, but just implementing policy and putting in plans. What is the one thing that you really enjoy about, you know, bringing on a new client and helping them achieve?
So I sometimes joke that no one calls me because they're having a good day. They call because they're in some sort of crisis with an employee relations situation. And so I really love the challenge of getting them through that crisis and then working with them on a longer term basis to say, what can we do to mitigate this going forward? How can we reduce liability going forward? And what can we do to really take care of your employees, but also balance that with the compliance requirements that you have as a company, as an employer?
Do you deal with companies of all sizes and ranges?
We do. However, we tend to have more clients in the small to mid-size business range. And part of that has to do with the fact that a lot of smaller organizations don't have the luxury of having a full in-house HR department. So a lot of companies don't hire an HR person until they're at least 50 employees. Some actually hold off until they're closer to 100. And so a lot of companies in the Frederick market, but also nationally, are in that under 100 category. And in fact, the Small Business Administration says anyone under 500 employees is considered a small business, which, you know, that doesn't seem that small to me, but that's their definition. So the majority of our clients fall under that 500 threshold.
Yeah. For people watching who might have a small company, what are three like tips you could give? Maybe they're just starting out. Maybe it's like me and you're kind of like this solo person right now, but you're thinking about hiring. What are three things maybe somebody can put in place to work toward getting somebody like you to help them out?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first tip would be understand your compliance requirements. Even with making your first hire, you have some responsibilities when it comes to labor and employment laws. So make sure that you're aware of which federal, state, and maybe even local employment laws apply. And also there are some industry specific things. So if you're in the government contracting space or you're in construction, there are a different set of requirements related to compliance. The second tip would be to figure out what's your strategy. You know, what types of people do you need to hire in order to grow and develop your business? and what are the knowledge, skills, and abilities that those people need to have, but also, what are their kind of soft skills or power skills that you're looking for? Communication, teamwork, being able to be a problem solver, having initiative, those types of things. And then finally, thinking about longer term, what do you envision the company looking like in the next 6 months, the next 12 months, even further into the future? What is that going to look like? Because you want to start preparing and creating the HR infrastructure now so that you're prepared for that growth.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I've worked with companies with an HR team and those without. And I think the ones without are really not focused on they say they want a good culture, they want an employee, they want a certain type, but when you're not leading from the top and have this vision and someone like you to help reinforce that through everything, the hiring practice, the firing practice, right? These are the types of things I think that can give businesses a really good or terrible reputation in a market if you don't kind of have that vision and someone to kind of keep you on that path.
You're absolutely right. And culture happens, right? So it either happens intentionally or unintentionally. And a lot of times with a smaller business and a business owner or founder, they get into the business because they're passionate about the product or service, but maybe their strengths aren't in HR or accounting or any of those
right.
really important functions within a business. And so business owners who are really savvy call in people like me, like my team, to help them navigate that.
Yeah, and I say this all the time, even with marketing. It's like you leave it to the experts instead of, maybe making those mistakes, some which can be vital to your brand and injure that. So yeah, that's awesome. Now, you not only run HR Answerbox, but you're very good about giving back into the community. Part of Key City Rotary is one way to do that. Yeah. And we invite you all to join us anytime. Just let me know. I'm happy to bring you as a guest. What made you decide that, the Frederick community was, you wanted to give back and volunteer or do whatever you could?
Yeah, so it started probably back around 2005. So I grew up in the area, but then I moved away for about 10 years and I came back at the end of 2005. And I realized I didn't really know that many people anymore. I had lost touch with the friends that I grew up with. Many of them had moved outside of the area. And so in a lot of ways, it was like starting over. And one of the best things that I did was I initially volunteered with the Downtown Frederick Partnership. I got involved with Alive at 5 and kind of the early years of that event. And then I just started to get more and more involved in the community. And so I had an opportunity to be on the Frederick County Commission for Women. I was on the Frederick County Workforce Development Board. I'm currently on the board of Key City Rotary and the Frederick Chamber of Commerce. And I also sit on the advisory board for 10th Ward Distillery.
What you're doing out there is awesome and helping to guide all of these different organizations. And I think it's great.
Thank you. And I genuinely love it. The people that I get to work with in all of those organizations are just fantastic humans, yourself included.
Oh,
and I definitely look forward to the days where I get to be with those groups of people.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So we do invite you to join us at Key City Rotary. Again, you can reach out anytime. We have something at Key City called the Haddaway Challenge. This is a good use of your PR communication skills, my friend. So Amanda was speaking to our organization one time and really encouraged people to get out and meet different people. And this is kind of my answer to the challenge is interviewing as many Key City Rotarians as I can. But I think what you started was very organic, yet pointed and really, really successful, where people made a point to sit with or meet with someone they didn't already know, which is so important in an organization of any kind, where you try to not allow some of the cliques to form or people not to feel welcome if they're newer. I thought that was brilliant. So whether planned or unplanned, I think you did an amazing thing.
Well, I am so overwhelmed by how it's taken off and continues to be a thing in our club. And I have personally benefited from it too, because I've gotten to know people in the club that I didn't know.
So again, we appreciate you taking your time out for us today, and I look forward to seeing you at the next Rotary.
Thanks. See you there.
All right. Want to thank Amanda Haddaway. So super smart. Great. If you're looking for somebody to help you get your HR house in order, she can certainly help you do that. All right. We're going to take a quick break. Then you're going to hear from Zach and Courtney Davis from Groundswell MMA. And I think you're going to love their story. That is all happening just right after this.
All in One Events is Frederick's #1 source for event rentals and entertainment. Please visit us on the web at www.aioeventgroup.com or call 1-888-727-8902 for more information.
Real estate goddess, yeah. She's the one to get you there. Homes and dreams are perfect, yeah. Shining finally beyond compare.
The Crab Shop is open. Join Habitat for Humanity of Frederick County, Maryland for the 9th annual Blue Crabs and Blueprints celebration on Saturday, August 24th at the Walkersville Carnival Grounds. This family-friendly day includes crabs from JB Seafood, food trucks, live music, and yard games. This fun-filled day supports Habitat's home repair and home build programs, making a difference year-round right here in Frederick County. Crabs must be pre-ordered by August 19th, so don't delay. Get your crabs now for this Maryland-style crab
I
feast.
recently had dinner at Sushi Nomu, and I've got to tell you, it was absolutely unbelievable. The decor, phenomenal. The food, just amazing. I had the best miso soup I've ever had. The sushi was so fresh and delicious, and it was actually a feast for the eyes. The presentation was stunning, and the service was impeccable. The sushi, fresh, the sashimi, the best I've ever had. I can't say enough great things about it. If you're looking for a great place, maybe to go on a date, or maybe just to try something new, it's affordable, it is beautiful, and you will not be disappointed, I promise. Sushi Nomu at sushinomu.com or 4969 Westview Drive, just beyond the Dunkin' Donuts. Yes, it's just the little things for this show I got to tell you today. Goodness gracious. All right, let's talk about A&S Construction, a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business, and it's right here in Frederick. A&S Construction specializes in roofing and siding. They can also take care of your windows and gutters. And how about a new patio or deck? There is plenty of great weather to still enjoy it. Actually, we probably use our patio more in the fall than we do any other time of year. And if you're looking to get one, you can call A&S Construction at 301-703-2157 or email info@ansconstruction.net. You can, of course, visit them on the web as well, ansconstruction.net. Sandra is an amazing part of our Frederick community. She's going to give you $750 off any roof or siding replacement, or $50 off any roof repairs. And if you're doing a full construction job like a new patio or brand new deck, I bet she will extend those special offers to you on those as well. So if she doesn't, you let me know, but I think she will. Give Sandra a call right now, 301-703-2157 or ansconstruction.net. All right, Zach Davis has always loved martial arts. He tried to do the adulting thing with real jobs, but he realized he could take this passion and make it something more. And thanks to his wife, Courtney, he's been super successful with Groundswell MMA. But the journey in getting here is the best story, and I had such a great time. I want to apologize from the get-go. I had to take a 30-minute conversation and try to whittle it down, to about 12 minutes, but they are super great, and I think you guys are going to love them. Zach and Courtney Davis.
Home of everything, Frederick. I'm with Courtney and Zach, Groundswell MMA. You guys have now been on your own for 2.5 years?
Over 2 years,
Yeah.
about 2.5 years.
Yeah, so you were telling me you were working in affiliation with Soldier Fits.
Danny Farrar is a great friend of mine. I coached him and his co-owner, Dave Posen, for a fight. And years later, they had Soldier Fit up and running. They had an open spot next door. And I was about to move on to another career. And so they said, hey, come on in. We got this space. We want to do a martial arts spot. You can run it, and it'll go awesome. And so I managed that for about 8 years. It was the Fort MMA. That's where I met my wife.
He met you there?
Yeah, but he didn't actually. I told him I wanted to take jujitsu, and he didn't believe me. So that was in 2013. I ended up training in Germantown at the school he got his black belt from.
Wait a minute.
Found out.
After you said...
She said she wanted to try jiu-jitsu, and I was like, I don't think she knows. We're choking each other out. Well, she'll come in if she really wants to do it. And I didn't follow up right away, and she went somewhere else.
As you should have.
I went to his instructor, Master Mike Moses at Evolve.
I love it.
And then a year later, he realized that I was serious.
How did you guys return?
My favorite rolling partners, jiu-jitsu partners, was his sister Jenny.
Nice.
And she's like, oh my gosh, you would love my brother. I was like, who's your brother? She's like, Zach Davis. I was like, that guy did not want me to train.
Isn't the universe a crazy, crazy?
We were meant to be together.
That is amazing.
So it was just time after about 8 years to either do my own thing. And so I was going to do that. And then we worked out a deal to purchase the program. Nice. And so then we rebranded it, and it's really taken off now that it's its own thing. It's got its legs under it, and I was able to get my wife involved there.
Yeah.
So now she's co-owner with me, and it's really helped it like quadruple in size.
Yeah. What were you doing before?
So I loved martial arts. I got my college degree. There's always time to work later. I can always do that, but I can only do this for now. So I started pouring all my time and energy into martial arts, and I was just living broke and competing, and it was just like I don't know. It reminds me of like a starving artist or a rock band trying to make it.
Yeah.
And so I did that for a long time. And every time I was like, all right, it's time to move on. Get just at that point where there's a breakthrough. So eventually I got to compete professionally. I got to compete with the UFC as a reality show, The Ultimate Fighter. So there's all these cool opportunities. And eventually I did have to stop because I tore my retina. And the doctors were like...
3 times.
Yeah. So then that's when I was like, okay, do I want to be a police officer? I was looking at, I actually ended up even taking classes to be air traffic control.
Oh, wow.
So I was,
Insurance sale.
I did insurance sales. So I was kind of like putting my foot into like the real world, and it sucks. I hope nobody is out there.
Yeah.
And that's when Dani Farrar actually talked to me. He saw me doing this. He's like, what are you selling insurance? You do air traffic control? You're supposed to be teaching martial arts. So he was a big inspiration because he's an entrepreneur, and he saw there was an opportunity. So he started up the Fort MMA. We did that for a while, and that ran its course. I learned a lot from how they run their business. When it came time to do our own thing, I knew a lot more, and I was able to kind of hit the ground running. And it's been very fruitful, been very fun. It's good to see how much you might not like other things too.
Oh, for sure. That's what your 20s are for.
And but don't get twisted. He was very scared to step out on his own. So
most martial arts schools, they're run by guys like me, having some level of corporate oversight. And actually, she's also an executive coach, which really works well because I have a live-in executive coach to me all the time. So she's able to in a kind way
guide you,
notice my weakness,
guide you.
I offer observation.
And gently coach me into a better way, which is a pretty good balance.
Well,
how do you do it?
Yeah, the reality show. How was that?
It's fantastic. For me, I always did martial arts just because I was such a big fan of it. I loved watching the sport. I loved everything about it. I loved it. Culture. I went on trips to go to the countries where these martial arts were from. So I was like all sold in on the adventure of martial arts. Yeah. And being able to do that was I don't know, it's kind of like the crowning piece of that adventure. There were like world champions that were helping coach us. It was cool for me because I realized how much I loved it, because there was a lot of other athletes there. And we'd have a day where they'd be like, hey, you guys, we can chill at the house or we can train. And most of them were like, hey, we'd like to take the day off and rest a little bit. And I was like, you have 3 UFC champions going to show you some drills and work with you, and you're going to stay home? Like, and I just realized, obviously, a lot of people don't have the passion for it the way I
You
did.
had something else. Yeah.
Well, can we take a step back and you have to share with Dani the process you went through to apply?
So they do open auditions, right? You got to go to Manhattan. The weight class is 170. If you want to do it, show up. And so I was like, yeah, like, who's coming with me? And so there are a lot of people that don't volunteer. When you get there, it's just mayhem. It's like 200 guys with a duffel bag. They have you come in the conference room tryout, and they just let you spar. And nobody checked your weight. Nobody did a medical. Nobody did anything. And they're like, all right, you two, go for a minute. And just in martial arts, a minute is like a drag race. That is like a full sprint. Like, I'm going to fight in front of, the people who could determine my future as an interview for 1 minute. And that's just mayhem. And so I remember one time I got kicked in the face, and it was probably the worst black eye I'd ever had in this 1 minute round. And then I ended up getting the guy down and doing a choke on him. I was like, yes, this is it. And so I walk out to go to the bathroom to clean myself up, and the conference room next to us had been rented out for someone's wedding. And so I'm coming out, pouring blood out of my face, trying to clean up. I'm so excited. And there's people in tuxedos just like, what the hell's going on next door? Those are kind of the ways to get in. And if you show up and you do the things and you're confident enough to answer questions, that was probably the hardest.
When you're authentic, is that with that one producer?
Once you show, you're like, okay, you're competent. And they whittle it down. So 200 comes down to like 50. Then they do an interview. And the interview, like, I think probably that for a lot of these particularly tough guys might be the hardest thing. What am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
But that was very easy. And I remember I met Dana White, the owner of the UFC. I shook his hand.
Loved him.
I went down the line, and one of the producers, I went to shake his hand. He said, sit the F down. Who the F are you? And then I was like, I'm Zach Davis. I went to University of Maryland. I grew up with here. I just started walking through. And I think they probably really liked it that I could just talk for a reality show. So like, all right, he can fight enough. He came out here, he's talking to the producers, and so it just worked very well. And then,
but you didn't get it. And then the next time you
got to bring up that negative. That was the first time.
The first time. Well, I think this is important because it shows resilience, and you're like, the resilience is what is key for, especially kids. It's like, I think they see people like you, and they're like,
they think you've gotten it.
Every time there's never been failure.
Yeah. So that was, I think, because they do it by your weight class. Yeah. So 170 was up. I don't know what year it was, but they said, all right, all the guys are 170, show up. And I was the alternate. So they flew me out to Vegas a few times. I did the medicals, but nobody got injured. So I didn't get to do it that year.
Gotcha.
So then I left brokenhearted.
Yeah. Went through the whole thing again.
Kept training. And then, a few years later, I think like 2 years later, they were like, oh, they're going to do the show again. And this time it's 170 again. So I went out and they already remembered me. And then it ended up working out. When I first went, I was just kind of like heart and enthusiasm, and I just loved it. And by the time I came back, I was like a much more seasoned martial artist.
It's really important for kids to understand, especially when they see these people, influencers or whatever, seem to go from nothing to here. They don't understand what it took down here to get to there.
It's failing up.
Failing up. Well, yeah.
Failing up. I think they're like, everyone sees failure as like,
that's it. It's the end. It's the end of the road.
Well,
no.
How did it help you?
Yeah.
Like, what did you learn from it?
In order to get where you're going, you have to fail. You're never going to get there without that.
Yeah.
We deal with a lot of kids' parents at the school where parents don't, and it's from love, they don't want their kids to hurt so badly that they will a lot of times come up with an excuse for the child.
Why?
Right. Oh,
Blame
you know what?
Somebody else.
It's because they were so much taller than you, or because
the belt, they have a different belt than you.
Yeah. Or they knew the coach, or this or that.
Yeah.
Because that takes all the accountability away from the child.
Right.
And then you're just a victim of circumstance versus having some agency where you're like, okay, I can control this. These are the things I control. these are things I'm going to do. And then they get back in there. Yeah. And it's so tempting to give your kid an out. You know, you didn't fail. It's the coaches didn't see you. Yeah, I think they already like that kid more.
Yeah. You also take the adventure away from the child when you don't let them struggle.
And control. Yeah, because there's control. You're removing all the control. Now what they think is everyone else is in control of my destiny, right?
The world is happening to me.
The world is, I work with a rather than I have control of everything I do. Now, do you always win? No, of course not. But to know when you fail, hey, I have control to pick this up and keep.
I work with a lot of adults who their parents didn't allow them to struggle.
Yeah.
And now as adults, they are so afraid to do anything because they don't know how to struggle. They don't know the benefits of it and that you can actually overcome.
Yeah.
So struggle is it's a blessing.
Yeah. And protecting your kids from failure, because I've talked with some of the young adults we have that they are so they've always won. They've always done well. And so now they're nervous because they don't know if they can. They're so nervous to fail because they haven't had that opportunity, which is weird to think of as an opportunity that you should be cut from a team.
Learn a lot about yourself.
You should get booed off stage once. You should, give up the game-winning play.
Yeah.
And so if you see those, then you're like, hey, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, I'm okay.
Martial arts, I know, is great for kids to help develop social skills, confidence. Do you find that with some of the kids that you work with?
Kind of with the adults.
I was just saying, I was like, our program about half adults, right? And the kids, certainly. The adults, some of them kind of missed those opportunities as kids.
Yeah.
They wanted to have those opportunities they wanted to struggle.
Test themselves.
And so to work their way up, all of a sudden, now they're learning, oh, maybe I am more capable of things that I didn't think I was able to.
Well, we have a lot of adults that come in with pretty significant trauma.
Yeah. Oh, I don't doubt it.
And it's like it's almost like a meditative relief because you literally cannot think about the stuff happening in your life because you're focused on not getting punched in the face or choked out. You know, it's like I focus on all this other stuff because I don't want I got to protect my arm.
How can people reach out to you guys to find out about the program, check out the gym? What's the easiest way?
I mean, easiest way, our website, groundswellmma.com. We have a lead form there. Yeah. Me or one of the team will call out to you guys to set up free intro. Come check it out. We're super excited to have new people. A lot of people are like, oh, do I already need to know martial arts?
Nope.
That's what white belt is all about. Like, we're like, that's why there's a white belt.
GroundswellMMA.com. Go hang out with Courtney and Zach. I'll be there just hanging out just to watch what's happening over there.
We're going to get her in. We're going to get her in.
Yeah. Check them out. And we wish you guys all the success. And I know you'll have many, many years of it. So
thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. All right, Zach and Courtney Davis, Groundswell MMA. How cute are they? Oh, my goodness. I just love them. I'm going to talk them into doing a separate podcast because they're so great. All right, coming up on Monday, we'll have, all next week, we celebrate the businesses who are part of the Frederick County Chamber of Commerce's She Week. You'll meet businesses just starting out and those who are expanding and growing and run by women. Plus, Monday is Pawsome Pets, sponsored by Pet and Home Care. And, of course, I'm going to have information about the Newmarket Volunteer Fire Department's Big Money Bash. And don't forget, we've got the Good Morning Frederick podcast. We're on all the socials. Please reach out. Tell a couple friends today about Good Morning Frederick. Let's get to 600 subscribers by Sunday. That would be fantastic because we're well on our way to 1,000 by September. All right, have a happy Friday. I hope you have a great day. Let's get out there and let's be great, Frederick. I know you can do it.
From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Morning Frederick, rise and shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Your whole stand